I've never fucking done one of these before. Never in my life. I haven't even fired one because no one has ever bought me a busted one. I legit just didn't tear the customer's box. Okay, I might have torn the customer's box. I've never used one of these before. Never fired one, nothing. This is coming for a downgrade and just to see what little tweaks can be done, but it's basically new. Okay, it's very noisy. The gearbox is very, very noisy. That is definitely something I'll have to fix. Okay, let's see what she says. About 1.2 joules, not too bad. So you can quick change spring at the back, that's fine. Wow, that's really good quality. That is nice quality. I like the colour of the buttons. The buttons are quite good quality. Yeah, right, there's a bit of that going on. Why, if this was VFC, I'd be fucking appalled. Cheap basic motor, it's got that brand new motor smell. It's a nice smell, actually. Reminds you of being a kid and your mate's got a Scale X trick for Christmas and you got fuck all because your parents don't love you. While I'm doing this, first things first, let's get some appreciation for what I did yesterday. Nice big pink veiny cock. So you can see where it starts to get cheap. No one's going to see it anyway because it's on the inside, but you can see where things do start to get cheap. That has been literally sprayed from the outside with the upper and lower together. Which is very fucking cheap way of doing it. I understand for realism why you'd want to do it this way. This is not a realistic looking gun. But regardless, I don't want to cause any scratches. That is a complete copy of the VFC. Now, something I do want to talk about. This really only applies to the UK, to be perfectly honest. Why DMR? Why are you bothering with a DMR? I do loads of DMRs. Loads of them. But there's some things that... That's clever. There are some things that people don't really understand or want to understand regarding DMRs. Everyone who wants me to do a DMR for them, when I ask, okay, what's pushed you to getting a DMR? And their answer is always the same, and that is they want the range, they want the power. And you ask about what guns they are currently using, and they often tell you the story about how they're being outranged by people with standard G&Gs and whatever else, and it gets you to thinking. A lot of people don't set up their standard guns. Now, I get a lot of feedback from people whereby they've used it a few times, the gun, any gun, they say, yeah, people are getting really pissed off because the range and accuracy out of what you've done, the range and accuracy is a lot better than before, and people are always complaining that my gun is hot because it's, you know, shooting further than theirs. And it's not because I've done anything fucking magic, it's because I've just set the gun up properly. Why have I short stroked this? Why have I done that? Why this rubber? Why are you doing it like this? You shouldn't be doing it like that. I get those comments as well, and all those people can fuck off. I honestly don't care. You may have noticed I don't really give a shit if somebody subscribes to my channel or not, because I'm aiming at gathering respect, not fucking followers. Now, with that in mind, that is a really tightly closed gearbox casing. That's a little bit worrying. With all that in mind, why are you doing a DMR? Why is DMR the route you want to go? If you set up your gun correctly and well, obviously, the big point is the time to target. The gun itself, the BBs, are going to get to the target a lot quicker with a higher powered gun. But the range and accuracy isn't actually such hot shit. It's not really that much better than a well set up gun. Now, obviously in the UK, most DMR limits for the UK are 1.88 joules, but you do find people and some sites that go as low as 1.4 joules, which gives you no fucking advantage whatsoever. But they're thinking safety, which is fine. Well, if you take away this, you know, if this is your time to target, zip. If you remove that from the equation, the time to target on a gun that is doing 1.13 joule, that is nicely set up for something like 3s or 3.2s, you're going to see that actually it's not a great deal quicker. It's a little bit quicker. But your range and accuracy, it's not a lot different than just moving up a little bit. And I find that a lot of people who want DMRs are older players who they don't want to fucking move up any further. They want to sit at the back a little bit. And you've got to think, well, how many sites do you play at where you know full well that every single game you play, you're going to be in that exact position where you've got 80, 90, 100, 110 metres direct line of sight on the enemy? Because most decent sites don't allow that to happen. They won't allow the snipers to be put in certain places that hold people back. And you've got a DMR, you haven't got a sniper rifle, you've got a DMR. I like it, by the way, that people say DMR, they're fine with that, but I bought a sniper. No, you didn't. You bought a bolt action rifle. You didn't buy a sniper. You can't buy a person. You know, that's like going out and buying a DM. You're not buying a DM, you're buying a DMR, you fucking knob. Legitimately forgot what the fuck I was talking about. Basically, what I'm saying is, if you've got the DMR, the range increase isn't really great enough to warrant what that game style takes away. And I've got no fucking idea how you guys do it elsewhere, but in the UK we have MEDs. Now, my first problem with an MED is if you've got a bolt action rifle, if you've got a DMR, yeah, you've got a higher power, you can cause more damage to somebody up close, therefore you've got an MED. But why are we chronoing at the muzzle when the point of impact is all the fucking way over there? Why is that happening? Surely you should be finding a way to chrono all the fucking way over there. That way you know the person's gun's safe, but you don't want to get your chrono shot out. So that's the only reason. So you don't really know what their gun's doing over there, do you? Just saying. You can do your maths and shit, but I don't know, a 0.4 soft BB to a fat person's head, is that going to do more or less damage than a 0.3 hard BB to a skinny person's stomach? You know, these are the questions. This is why I question Jules and whatever else. Without going into my little fucking wormhole like I so frequently like to do, if you set up your gun so that you've got select fire, you don't ever need to have an MED ever again. You can have your gun doing 3.2s, hopping beautiful and straight at about 1.1 joule, and you'll see that not only are you outranging most of the people on the field, because most of the people have not set their gun up properly. They've done exactly what the internet told them to do, and they've not really thought for themselves. They just put loads of money and parts into something without ever setting it up. So with that in mind, you then don't have to worry about carrying a smaller backup gun if you don't want to. You can just have your main battle rifle, because the range on it's going to be incredible. And yeah, you are going to create a few little salty boys. It's going to happen because you will have the range and accuracy. Now, when you get into how the gun works, version 3, version 2, and now obviously things like P90s and Styrogs, you can make it so your gun is perfectly semi-locked and it's not going to cause any kind of semi-lock-up. So if you want to have that slight time to target advantage, you can have it. But things like the M14, they're still a shit stain, because if you get a lock-up, you're still stuck, because you've got to take it to someone to unlock it if you don't know what you're doing. At least you've got to take it apart and unlock it. It's a pain in the arse. There are ways around it. Extra switches attached to your motor wire, so you can press it and get instant full auto. That unlocks it. There are little things you can do. Warfets and whatever, if you unplug it and go straight connector to connector without the fucking MOSFET in there. Yes, same thing. But generally speaking, it's a hassle. And when you can make a gun that fires so fucking cleanly and so far, and it has burst fire on it, who gives a fuck? You can then get closer to your target if you want to. You can sit further back if you want to. Having a well-built battle rifle almost negates the need for any kind of DMR. Because our power limits, even at 1.88 joule, and I know you guys, oh, well, over here we have having this power and this very low power for us, and I understand that stuff. We don't have that. We don't have that. We're not going to have that, so I'm not catering to that market. The same in America. We do 350 feet per second only for CQB. We don't do any of these things for outdoor use. We've got 400 feet per second, and this is the way we have all of our guns in full auto, and that's just the way it is. But you notice how the jump to the DMR limit is very small in a lot of those cases. You know, we've got regular gun, DMR, bolt action, whereas a lot of other countries have got regular gun, DMR, bolt action. And it's like, urgh. When you look at these differences, having a bolt action rifle on .43s, sending them out there, that is going to get you some more range. That's going to get you the accuracy at range. It's going to get you ahead in the game zone, and it helps people move up and all that other shit, and you can be sneaky beaky nicely quietly. Battle rifle, if you set it up nicely, you know, it's that DMR point. It's the wrong point. It should be up this way very slightly if you really want to get the benefit. But you're not going to get the benefit. Very rarely do you get that benefit. If you really want to sit at the back and, you know, try and take people out, that's great. That's your game style. Like my game style, you've seen it, is me running around shouting sausages at people and being a knob. That's how I play. I want to have as much fun as I can and infuriate the enemy team, but equally infuriate my own team without causing anyone any direct harm and without ruining the day. You know, I'm just having fun. This is why I'm here. DMR is kind of a lost cause. It's kind of a lost cause. I am so confident that a lot of my builds outrange a lot of these standard DMR builds that people do, because it's not just power. You know, I appreciate the fact that a decent DSG build isn't just put a DSG gear in and cut these teeth off the fucking piston, make it a light piston and off you go. There's a lot to take in, but it's the same with the DMR. It's not just, we'll put a bigger spring in there and then just like put a screw in the side of the gun so it can't go to full. That's not going to get you any massive benefit if it's not set up properly, you know? It's equal amount of time and effort going into a DSG is to what should go into a decent DMR build, because both are more likely to have a weak point and a failure point than a well-built battle rifle, you know? So I'm just throwing it out there. You will probably have more fun with a well set up battle rifle than you will with a DMR. That's what I'm going with. And I stopped working doing that, so I'm just going to speedy forward and montage it. Just think about it. Don't assume you need a DMR, because you don't. Have a bolt action rifle well set up and have a decent battle rifle well set up, and you can literally have as much fun as you want. There is no reason why you can't have a battle rifle and have a well-built bolty over your back, you know? They're not exactly heavy guns. Take both. Enjoy the best of both worlds. So, the noise is going to come from this. It looks like it's going to be a noisy gear. So I'm going to change out one gear. Shall I? No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm going to see how good I can make this. How quiet I can make it, and how good I can make the response without ever changing any parts. That's what I'm doing on this build. Let's see what I can do. Oops. I've knocked 2 teeth off. That's all I've done. Knocked off 2 teeth. Let's do a reshim. I wonder what length nozzle they use. Oh, my own range of spare parts come out soon, just saying. Now, I don't want you guys to compare this to one of my normal builds, because although I'm not cutting any corners, I'm just not doing anything crazy. I'm just going to reshim what's here and optimise the sector gear to the barrel length. I don't like the idea of the final tooth pickup being plastic, so I am going to change the piston. It's just common sense. As you know, I do my work by hand. I don't like using machines where I don't need to. It's just extra cost. How's that? There you go then. Change the piston just for a bit of longevity. Short stroke the original sector gear and throw in a maple leaf rubber, and she's good to go. Nice.